Quick question before we start. What if I told you one company most people have never heard of quietly controls the fate of Nvidia, Apple, AMD, and basically every AI company on the planet? Not through some secret deal or shady conspiracy, but through pure, unglamorous manufacturing dominance built patiently over nearly 4 decades of relentless reinvestment. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why TSMC might genuinely be the single most important company in the world right now, and why it still refuses to diversify away from its biggest bet, semiconductors, even after everything it has already won in this AI boom we keep hearing about everywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back to Strategy Decode, the channel where we break down the biggest business and tech strategies in plain, simple language anyone can follow, no MBA required. Today we're decoding TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, the quiet giant building the manufacturing capacity that almost every AI company on Earth depends on completely, whether that's Nvidia, Apple, AMD, Google, Amazon, or Meta. Chances are, whatever device you're watching this video on right now has a TSMC chip inside it somewhere. Let's start with the numbers on this slide, because honestly, they tell the real story better than any explanation ever could, so let's dig right in together. In the second quarter of 2026, TSMC pulled in $40 billion in revenue, up almost 34% from a year earlier, beating what Wall Street analysts had expected going into the quarter. Net income jumped a massive 77% year over year, an extraordinary pace for a company this size. Gross margin hit 67.7%, numbers most companies only ever dream about. And here's the real kicker. 77% of that revenue came from their most advanced chips, the 7nm and below technologies that power modern AI. This isn't just a good quarter, it's TSMC's 5th record-breaking quarter in a row, and counting. So here's the real question worth asking. Why is TSMC growing this fast when Nvidia, Apple, and Google are all fighting each other tooth and nail for AI supremacy? The answer is one of the oldest, simplest strategies in business: picks and shovels. During a gold rush, miners fight each other for gold, risking everything they have on one single claim, striking it rich. But the smartest business isn't a miner at all. It's the company quietly selling picks, shovels, and equipment to every single miner out there. TSMC genuinely doesn't care whether Nvidia wins or AMD wins. It manufactures the chips for almost all of them, regardless of who eventually comes out on top of this entire race. On paper, TSMC simply sells semiconductor manufacturing services to whoever needs them. In reality, it sells something far more valuable: scarce, advanced computing capacity that almost nobody else on Earth can supply at this scale today. Nvidia, Apple, AMD, Google, Amazon, and Meta can all design brilliant, cutting-edge chips, but designing a chip isn't nearly enough on its own. You need leading-edge process technology, high yield, wafer capacity, and advanced packaging to actually bring that design to life. TSMC controls roughly 70% of the entire global foundry market today. Its closest rival, Samsung, sits at just 7 to 8%, a distant second place. Now you might reasonably think, they're big, why can't a rival just build some factories and eventually catch up? Here's why that doesn't work in practice, no matter how much money you throw at it. TSMC's moat isn't one single thing, it's 8 things stacked carefully together: process technology, R&D capability, manufacturing yield, sheer scale, a deeply loyal customer ecosystem, advanced packaging, brutal capital intensity, and decades of accumulated manufacturing experience nobody can shortcut easily. TSMC has already moved into 2nm volume production, with even smaller A16 and A14 nodes already scheduled for 2026 and 2028. The target genuinely keeps moving. Here's the part almost nobody outside the industry talks about: the learning curve flywheel, and it's genuinely brilliant once you see it. Every new chip generation demands enormous learning: new node, process development, customer design, prototyping, yield improvement, and finally, volume production at real scale. More customers bring more volume. More volume creates more manufacturing learning across every production run. That learning steadily improves yields and unit economics. Better economics fund even more research and development, which builds the next generation of technology, pulling in still more customers behind it. And the cycle just keeps repeating, faster each time. Most companies respond to a boom by protecting their margins and playing it safe, quietly banking the extra profits. TSMC is doing something far bolder instead, spending even more money before customers even ask for extra capacity. The company raised its 2026 capital spending guidance to as much as $64 billion, a huge jump from prior guidance levels. In the United States alone, TSMC's total committed investment in Arizona has now reached $265 billion, the largest single foreign direct investment in American history. That's not simple expansion. That's TSMC deliberately turning raw manufacturing capacity into a competitive weapon against rivals. And because leading-edge capacity is genuinely scarce right now, TSMC has something it never really had before in its long history: real pricing power over its own powerful, demanding customers. When demand outstrips available supply, customers end up competing hard for allocation, not haggling over price the way they used to just a few years back. Reports indicate TSMC has already raised prices on its most advanced chips and is reportedly weighing further price hikes of up to 10% starting sometime in 2027. The real lesson here isn't that TSMC is powerful simply because it's big. It's powerful because it controls capacity nobody else on Earth can replace at this scale. Here's exactly why customers can't simply walk away, even as prices keep climbing year after year without much pushback from anyone. Imagine Nvidia decides tomorrow that TSMC has become too expensive and wants to switch to a different foundry entirely. That means new design rules, process qualification, a complete tape-out, yield learning from scratch, packaging, testing, and then a slow, careful production ramp, all over again from square one. For one leading-edge chip, that's a multi-year high-risk nightmare with no guarantee of success. So switching costs are enormous. Customers aren't trapped by TSMC, they're trapped because leaving is simply too expensive and risky. Is TSMC actually swimming in a blue ocean, meaning a market with basically no real competition to speak of? Not anymore, and it's worth understanding why that changed over time. Back in 1987, TSMC created something brand new in the industry, the pure-play foundry model, separating chip design completely from chip manufacturing for the very first time ever. That really was blue ocean thinking back then, decades ago. But today, Samsung is competing hard for the same customers. Intel is rebuilding its foundry business from scratch, and China's SMIC is expanding fast with billions in state subsidies. TSMC isn't in uncontested waters anymore. It's in a red ocean where it refuses to lose ground. Here's the strategic paradox that honestly makes this whole story so fascinating to watch unfold in real time. Most companies facing a once-in-a-generation demand boom would rush to diversify, spreading their bets around to reduce dependency on one shaky, cyclical industry. TSMC is doing the exact opposite of that standard playbook, pouring even more capital into the very thing that made it successful in the first place: leading-edge semiconductor manufacturing and nothing else besides. That's not reckless behavior, that's genuinely focused strategy at work here. TSMC isn't hedging its bets at all. It's betting the world's appetite for advanced chips is nowhere near its ceiling yet. But let's not pretend for a second that TSMC is completely invincible, because it genuinely isn't. And 4 real, credible risks hang directly over this entire story we've been telling you. First, AI demand risk. 66% of TSMC's total revenue now comes from AI and high-performance computing alone, a heavy concentration in one basket. Second, geopolitical risk. TSMC sits directly at the dangerous three-way intersection of Taiwan, China, and the United States. Third, execution risk in scaling overseas factories to match Taiwan-level yields reliably. And fourth, technology risk. If TSMC ever stops innovating, this entire moat starts shrinking fast, quietly, and permanently. So here's the one single line I really want you to remember long after this video ends. TSMC isn't winning because it correctly guessed which particular AI company would eventually come out on top of this race. It's winning because it deliberately built itself into a position where almost every potential winner in that race still needs TSMC to succeed, regardless of who that eventual winner turns out to be in the end. In the AI gold rush everyone keeps talking about, everyone keeps asking who will find the gold first. TSMC asked a completely different, much smarter question instead. Who's going to supply the tools to everyone out there currently searching for it, right now, today? If this kind of breakdown helped you see big strategic moves differently today, do me a genuine favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to Strategy Decode, and turn on notifications so you honestly don't miss the next one when it eventually drops next week. We break down the biggest business and tech strategies out there in plain, simple language anyone can follow. Every single week. No fluff, no unnecessary jargon, just the strategy that actually matters most. and a clear, honest explanation of why it genuinely works in the real world in plain English every time. Thanks so much for watching all the way through, and I'll see you in the very next video. Take care, everyone.